So some near-time events, April 30th, Marriott, 10 a.m. Design Day. We'll probably have close to 60 projects on display at the Marriott. Mo, are you a sponsor this year? Mo has been a sponsor in the past. Depends on what comes up.
On those things, yes, we are.
Yes, you are. Okay, so I was giving you the opportunity there. We have our College of Engineering end-of-year Da Vinci dinner. It's Friday, May 3rd at the Marriott. Tickets are still available. So if you'd like to do that, let me know, and we'll be able to get you a place there. It's a great opportunity for companies to sponsor tables. And then we're trying to build up our Facebook presence. I'll show you some of that data in a little bit. And I'll show you, talk about the long tail in marketing and communication so you get a chance to see. So here's what I'm going to talk a little bit about it through the little logo on the side. I'll talk a little about general stuff, education programs, some research programs. I'll talk about the new building. I only wanted to do 10 minutes. I got about 40 slides here, so I'm just going to flip over immediately. I know Kevin's got some common material on the rankings and things like that. You get a chance to see where we're at. This is our table on U.S. News. This last year we moved up to 48th, so we've gone from 51st to 48th. We're getting closer to the game up above us. You can see these are some of our numbers. If you want this slide deck, I can give you the slide deck. It's on this computer right here. So if somebody wants to stick a jump drive in, they can certainly take the slide. I'll email you the slide deck as well, so you don't have to do that. But that's about where we're at. Our faculty is about 118. This is the reporting group. We report with optical sciences, ag and biosystems engineering, and computer science to U.S. News. That's the algorithm that they use. So above the line is the group, below the line is the college. We are at about 28.3 million. Our faculty has gone down. We're about $252,000 per faculty member in research expenditures per year right now. That's up from 192. That's a big jump, right, over 3 years. So, and it's due entirely to our faculty and the infrastructure we put in place to help our faculty do more research. That's really how you get to do these kind of things. We had an improvement in PhD degrees. If there's one metric where we're really struggling, it's in graduate student enrollment. And the university right now is doing almost everything in their power to stop us from getting more graduate students. And Kevin will get a chance to talk about that at some point in time. Okay. Really exciting material. The new president, Kim Ann Hart, one of her new initiatives is Tech Launch Arizona. She hired a vice president for, did I pull an extra slide there? Okay. Kevin will talk about the civil engineering rank, the department ranks. I think that's the one I skipped over. So Tech Launch Arizona is our new technology transfer arm, trying to reduce the barriers on how do we get our technology out into the public. One of the first things that they did was they put $600,000 on the table, asked for proposals in the 35K to 45K range for investigators to take technology and move it forward. So you had to do a disclosure already. Mo, if this would have been here back in the day, you would have really been able to take advantage of this. Sorry, you were 10 years ahead of your time at least. But this is now a clear priority for the institution. It is such a priority, the promotion and tenure criteria have been changed. That patents, startups, this kind of activity is now part of the promotion and tenure guidelines. You can't get any more important than that. Take my word for it. Right? People will drive to the objective function. This is part of the objective function. The college got 6 of about 15 awards university-wide, and this is the one that I wanted to highlight. Lian Zhang got one of the 6 on eco-friendly geopolymer bricks from mine tailings. How do we make stuff out of mine tailings, which is a pretty good idea. And I think he's trying to do similar kinds of things with busted up concrete from roads as well. A very clever guy, great faculty member. We're really happy to have him. And so we got one. The other 3 were in materials, one in MGEC and one was in AME. In our marketing communications, I left on the table, because obviously I didn't bring enough, our new handout. This is our new undergraduate book. We put out a large print piece every year. This year it was the term for undergraduate education. Next year it will be back again the term for research, and we'll go back and forth. And really this details all the good things that we do with our undergraduates. The next year we'll do a research report. If you watch our website or you watch our Facebook page, our strategy is how do we get mileage out of footage. We write an article, we use it 3 or 4 places. And so we're continually doing that. We do about 150 articles a year. The question is how big they are and where they should go. And I'll show you some of our impact a little bit. The idea is called the long tail. What we used to do is let's write 10 articles and hope they all hit home runs. And instead, we're writing 150 articles and hope they start to get hits and followers. So we are typically getting 1,000 hits per article. So example, one of the things that we had recently was the Rube Goldberg club. Is anybody, any of the students in the Rube Goldberg club? No. Okay. Yeah, and you give them space as well in the building. So the Rube Goldberg club finished second at nationals. And I think that small article that we had something like 1,500 hits. This is a measure of our Facebook page. So if you look at the people who like us, there's about 667 when we took this data. And if you look at their connection network, it's about 230,000 people. So when we post something on our page and that hits their timeline, then their friends get a chance to see it. You can see this thing multiplies out very quickly. So the idea, if you're on Facebook, make us a friend, like us. Right? Like us. That's important. And in fact, it's not a bad idea for the departments to have such a page as well, and you can start to do small things. It doesn't take much. It really takes 5 or 10 minutes to put a Facebook thing together. Right? It's a picture and a byline. Right, that's all it takes. It's really not a lot to tell you. And you can see how our total reach is increasing over time. So we're getting more people like us, and then our network grows and grows. And so this is a long tail kind of strategy. It's lots of small posts as opposed to trying to write a book and then sending it out all over the planet and hope people actually get a chance to read it. Much more cost effective. In our education programs, the Intel program is rolling. Was anyone? No, I don't remember if I talked about this last time. The Intel program was a program where Intel came to us and said we want to train our technicians to be engineers, but we don't want them to ever leave the site. So how do we do that? And so what we did was we have the students take 2 years at a community college wherever they're located, which is normal. They transfer to the College of Engineering, and then in material science and chemical engineering, which were the first 2 programs they wanted to do, we put 100% of our curriculum online, including laboratory experiences. And actually with Intel, they have labs that are better than ours. They can go do labs if they really want to. And then what we did was we took 5 tech electives in each of these programs, and we designed courses, and then Intel has instructors on site that will teach the course, but they're hired by us. So we control the content, we control the instructor, but they're Intel employees. Those courses are very much Intel technology, and that was the appeal for them as well. Now, once we have such a program, you got to realize I'm going to walk over to Raytheon and sell the same thing, and we'll let Raytheon do their 5 courses as well. All right, so once you get the baseline, you can. It's a scalable strategy very quickly at that point. Certificate and short programs. I think I said a little bit, and I probably got a little bit out of line at Roads and Streets because Dave gave me so much leeway there. But we are working on certificates and short programs, and especially the construction management program and civil engineering. Right now that program is really 1 course, but we're planning on growing that over time to a whole program. So we might as well talk about the future at that point in time. If I look at our undergraduate students, get ready. We're going to have our largest freshman class this coming fall. We're expecting somewhere around 725 to 750 students. Last fall was our largest. Before that, it was 670. Our quality has never been higher. Our gender diversity has never been higher. Our ethnicity has never been higher either. We're about 30% ethnic over the entire college now. Now, the difficulty is that's not true within departments. And so if you really look at our data, you'll see that biomedical engineering has really picked up a real market share, and mining has picked up market share as well. Material science has picked up market share, and everybody else has sort of dropped market share a little bit. So if there's one thing that I think civil engineering might want to think about is as the number of students gets higher, and we will go to 3,000. The college right now is about 2,500. We'll go to 3,000. if you keep your same market share, it's not hard to predict how many students are going to be in the program. But if you actually grow or drop the market share, and I know other departments are trying to gain market share. So it's a standard kind of thing. Our SAT numbers are fabulous. We will likely go to 1250 in SAT next fall. The university is at 1110. So you'll know about where we are relative to the rest of the university. A West Point is like 1280, 1290. So you can get a chance to see. Now we're not talking Berkeley. Okay, that's not where we're at this point. In our freshman classes right now, we've been getting 27 or 28% women. And the women are being retained, and you'll see why in a second. I'll show you some of that data. So bigger presence in Maricopa County, go where the people are, that makes perfect sense. And we're really strong right now. Engineering 102 in high school is up to 23 schools, and I'm going to guess we'll be at 27 or 28 next fall. So we're over 400 kids in that program, in that AP program, and it's pretty exciting. Let's see if I can get this slide to come up. This is a really interesting slide. We started to look at student GPAs because someone claimed that some of the departments were weaker or stronger than others. So I apologize if the numbers are small. But these are all of our majors, and these are the head counts, female and male. And then this is the average GPA. It's not the distribution. It's the average GPA. And so if I look, let's pick one, a group that's friendly. Mechanical, big program, 38 women, 249 guys, right? So this is a 12 or 13% program. Female GPA average 3.42, guy GPA average 3.03. I'm sure that's statistically significantly different. And if you look at that column for the women and the average, you're going to see why we're retaining women pretty well. They're doing pretty damn well here. Right, so that 28% number in the freshman class will be consistent, that after 5 years of that, we will have 28%. Right, unless we were kicking them out, unless people were leaving in bigger groups. And so we're not doing those kind of things right now. People are being successful. Our male average is pretty good as well, 2.95. That's not unusual. The engineering no major selected group is a big group. It's typically all the freshmen and some of the sophomores. And so you can see those are the students right now. Once you get into a major, your GPA has to be a little stronger. But here again, the women are almost to 2.9, going on 3.0. The guys are closer to 2.7. And so that's the group that we will either move to a major or move to a different college at that point in time. So you get a chance to see where we're at. So let's see, where were we at here? So Kevin, these numbers look approximately correct to you. 121 total students, and in your group, you're much more balanced. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm using the mouse basically. Yeah, so here you go, right there. So you're much more balanced than the other programs. So you get these big differences. Mechanical, big difference. Materials, big difference. Engineering management, again, these 0.3 differences are fairly large.
You gotta get the girls' GPA off there.
What's that?
ECE GPA. Purple rules right there.
ECE, why is, oh, there's one. You're right, there's one player. You're right, I didn't think of it. Yeah, we could find out, we just don't know who that is. Right, so.
I'm sure she's sitting here.
Yes, if she was sitting here, she would likely know. So this slide is a little bit different. This is the difference between the domestic and international. We're about 10% international. And last year, our international group jumped. So it's either easier to get visas, or we made a concerted effort at the university level to bring in more international kids. And again, if you look at this freshman group, this no major selected group, you can see we've got a major problem in the international GPA here. That's a major problem. So once we saw that, we know we need to put in place retention programs to start to deal with that. Right, so, and something we have to watch right from the start. So once you see that kind of a trend. It's not anywhere near as pronounced though. I mean, once you get into the major, aerospace, the international group is better. A little bit biomedical, they're pretty close. Biosystems close. Civil, very close as well. Right, so it's very balanced except in that freshman group. Mechanical still has a little bit more in the domestic side, but the other ones are balanced. What's that?
Language issue. Probably.
It's probably a language issue for first-year students. That's exactly right. So we need a strategy on how do we overwhelm that. Okay. What's that?
You missed 2 slides.
I did. I blew through a couple. It's probably not a bad idea. I want to get to the building slides really fast here. This is the problem when I don't have